Hey boos, in this video, I give commentary based on my opinion. Nothing is to be taken as factual. We are just here to have conversation. We don't expose and we don't sip tea on this channel. I'm giving you real talk straight, no chaser. Let's see if you can handle it.
Cause I'm a boss.
Oh, hell no!
You didn't show up today with HIV, AIDS, any of them deadly sexually transmitted diseases that'll make you die in 2-3 weeks. Put a cell phone light in the air. Lady, if your pussy smell like water, put a cell phone light in the air. Fellas,
lights up.
Fellas, if you ain't sucking nigga dick in the parking lot, put your cell phone lights in the air.
Let's be real about this shit.
Yeah, keep it fucking real.
Some of y'all niggas suspect as a motherfucker. Let's be real.
Hi guys, it's Yoni and I'm back with another video. So I've been holding off on my video with this whole situation concerning Dababy, okay? Because he's currently on a canceling tour. He is on a canceling tour. I don't think he signed up for it, but he's currently on a canceling tour. Now, the reason why I held off on my video was because I wanted to see things unfold first. I wanted to see how he would handle this situation, and to be honest, I'm not surprised how he handled the situation. I don't think a lot of us are really surprised about how he handled the situation, but I wanted to highlight some things. I really wanted to highlight some things. This is a man that promotes unprotected sex with his lyrics, okay? If you want to tune in to songs that he has been on, we could use the example of Throat Baby. He promotes raw sex. So this is a man that has 3 baby mamas. So not only does he promote raw sex with his, what most would say would be considered art, right? He also promotes it within his personal life because he is going around impregnating women. And the only way you can do that is if you're having unprotected sex. So we're seeing a man on a public stage spreading false information with his influence. And this is why he's being canceled. He's not being canceled because of his homophobic mindset and mentality. He's really being canceled because he decided to get on a public stage and spread false information about AIDS and HIV. He spoke as if it was still the 90s, which I want to highlight another point. This tells me this is a man that promotes raw sex. This is a man that promotes unprotected sex in his personal life and in his lyrics, his artistry, right? And he doesn't get tested on the regular. He's not educated on AIDS and HIV and how you can live a normal, healthy life with AIDS and HIV. But this man has this perception based off of a high school education that you can die from AIDS and HIV within 2 to 3 weeks, which tells me that he doesn't get tested on a regular basis. How is it that a man that promotes unprotected sex within his lyrics and within his personal life, but he's not educated on AIDS and HIV? Now, this should be concerning for Black women because this is a man who influences Black males. And he decided to go on a public platform. He decided to spread false information. He decided not to take accountability. He decided not to educate himself. These were choices that he made. Do I feel bad? No, I don't. I don't feel bad. But I really want you guys to actually see what's going on here, because if you listen to people like T.I. and some of these other rappers and all these Black men that are coming out defending him ignorantly, then you will not see the bigger picture here. The bigger picture is that a lot of these men are not getting tested. That is the bigger picture. A lot of these men are not getting tested, but they're promoting unprotected sex. That is the reality of all of this. My next point, it makes it worse that you have rappers like T.I., Lil Boosie, and all these other Black male entertainers who also influence the average Black man on the daily defend him. And you know it's bad when white people get on our business. You know it's bad when white people have to chime in and check the men of our community. You know it's bad because what we're seeing is we're seeing the pull that the white community has on black men. We're seeing the pull right now. And hopefully you guys are able to see that. It's embarrassing because when we look at this from the bigger picture, you have men of status, black men of status, black men that other black men have placed on a pedestal to look to as a leader. We see them as leaders, whether you agree with it or not. Entertainers are seen as leaders. So because of that, it's embarrassing because you have T.I., Lil Boosie, and all these other men, black men of status, defending him and not correcting him. And you know it's bad when you have white people stepping in, chiming in, pulling strings to cancel him because our own men within our own community is not. I also want to add to the average black male that is out here, if you're tired of these entertainers being seen as leaders, stop putting them on a pedestal. Stop putting them in positions to lead you or to be the spokesperson for you. Because black women, we have programs like Black Girl Magic, Black Girls Rock. You know, we have shows that highlight us in a very positive light. We also have the Olympics. We have all these other avenues that showcase us in a positive light to where we don't really have to lean on our entertainers to be the spokesperson for us or to make us look bad. Because there was a situation that happened over the weekend as well, where there was a group of girls that were twerking on top of tables and acting just inappropriate in an environment in a restaurant where it was just uncalled for. So we still have to battle with those situations. We have to combat those situations. But how do we combat those situations? We get educated. We start businesses. We create programs and TV shows like Black Girls Rock. We create movements like Black Girl Magic. We create the positivity that we want for people to see outside of our stereotypes. Next, I want to talk about cancel culture and how it doesn't work for black women and why. So we are seeing Dababy get canceled and it's successful. Why? Because the queer community is canceling him. Black women are not taught to cancel black men. We are taught to love, support, nurture the black man when he's right, wrong, and indifferent. When he's abusive, neglectful, and just hard to deal with. So we're not socialized the same way as some of the people that are a part of the queer community, because they're not socialized and conditioned the same way a black woman is when it comes to the black man. So we're never going to be successful when it comes to canceling a black man like Dababy who slapped a black woman, a fan, at one of his concerts. That is the reality. So I saw that there were some lesbians on my community tab saying, well, I'm a part of the queer community. People are saying that black women don't know how to cancel, blah, 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 blah. And it's like, your efforts is being supported with other people that are not black. And this is why cancel culture is successful with Dababy. But when he slapped that black woman, his cancellation was not successful, but it's successful now. Why is that? I just told you why. So next, I also want to highlight that this whole situation, it showcases black men not being educated, because how are you on a public stage talking like it's the 90s? This man is up here on a public stage talking like it's 1994 or 1996. What is really going on? And it's because our men refuse to get educated outside of either a high school diploma or a GED. And that's the reality. And then we put them in leadership positions. How interesting is that? But Malcolm X said it best. Our entertainers should not be our leaders, but they are. They are. And the average black man, you can only look at yourself. You can only look in the mirror and say, why do we make them our leaders and our spokesperson? Especially when they're not getting educated. Because there are a lot of black men out here that are. It's just not the majority. It's not the majority. It's just not. So because of that, you're going to see situations like this. And this is why, if you've noticed, when white people get in our business, they pull strings of power and they're able to do something like cancel him. So it's just interesting. And, one thing I'm also noticing is that the Black community is turning into a matriarchy. Because look at the government. You see a lot of Black women sitting in hierarchy positions, and then you don't really see Black men. So who do you think, outside of the Black community, when we speak on leaders, who do you think they're going to go to? They're going to come to us, the women, because we are getting educated. We are starting businesses. We can compete with them and do business with them and talk to them and be educated so we can actually have a successful partnership. And this is why Dababy is getting canceled. This is a man that refused to take accountability, ownership. He refused to get educated and informed on new information. And so he wanted to be ignorant and he got canceled. And it's really that simple. And this is why the future for the Black community is going to be matriarchy. And the reason is because these men refuse to get educated. And it's really starting to show. Just look at the government. Look at the House of Representatives. Look at your local governments. You're going to start to see a major shift in who's really leading and who's really coming to us to look for partnerships and to extend business deals, trades, information. Next, I want to talk about Lil Nas X. And you guys, I like Lil Nas X. Do I agree with all the trolling that he does? No, I do not. But you know what I like about him? And this is the reason why I like him, is because Black men don't like him because of how their image is portrayed in media, correct? How the Black male is being sexualized. In the same way that heterosexual Black men have sexualized us for years. For years, they have exploited our sexuality. For years, they have fed into the stereotype of the Black woman being overly sexualized. So now that it's being done to them, it's a problem. And I'm here for it because now they know how it feels. They know how it feels to have their image like that sexualized. And they don't like it. And that's why I like Lil Nas X, because he's basically holding up a mirror to their face saying, this is what you do to Black women. And now they're seeing how it affects them, right? They're seeing how it ruins their image. It brings on this negative image that doesn't showcase them in the best light. And they don't like it. But Black women have been dealing with that for years. And so now they have an issue with Lil Nas X. And I'm here for it. I'm here for what Lil Nas X is doing because, like I said, Black men have been doing it for years and it has gone unchecked for years. So for me, I don't have an issue with it. Do I agree with Lil Nas X and the things that he does? No. Honestly, I really don't care for him like that. I have not listened to a song that he has created, watched a music video that he has made outside of, what was that song that he had, Old Town Road? That was the only song that I actually listened to. That is the only video that I think I've ever watched. If I watched it, I don't even know if I actually watched the music video. But I'm saying the reason why I like it is because he's basically showing what Black men have done to the Black woman's image for years, generations, decades. So I'm here for it for that reason alone. Next, I want to talk about Chrisette Michele. Now, you guys know that this woman was canceled. Do you hear me? She was canceled because she performed years ago at the Trump inauguration ceremony. And I find it interesting that the collective of Black culture wants to give Dababy a break, but they wouldn't extend that same grace to Chrisette Michele. And it's really sad because honestly, I feel like Chrisette Michele is one of those type of people where she's so talented. You know, if we are all people, we all make mistakes and people should be forgiven for the mistakes that they make. Why don't we extend that to Black women? And see, I'm starting to see the parallels, the patterns when it comes to how black men are treated versus how black women are treated. And this is why the collective of black women, you really should focus on yourself, because the same rules simply do not apply to you when you're a woman, as a black woman, when you're compared to a black man. And that is just the reality. So I wanted to highlight that as well. People are like, oh, give Dababy a break. Oh, I don't understand why you guys are dragging this. Like, da 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 da. But the reality is, you didn't extend that same grace to a black woman. So in conclusion, I really just want black women to focus on themselves, take care of themselves. If that means you need to divest, you have my support, but don't just start and stop with men. Divest from everything and everyone around you that is not there supporting your highest good. That's not there supporting you and appreciating who you are and the fact that you want more out of life. Divest, but don't just start with men. Don't just end with men. Divest from certain foods, diets, divest from certain friends, family that don't want to support your highest self. Divest. Get rid of them. Cut them off, move forward, and move on with your life. Because if you keep focusing on all these other things that are really just here for a distraction, you're going to lose yourself. So focus on you. That's the best advice that I can give you, because this ain't no anti-black male channel. This is a I love myself channel. This is about putting myself first, putting myself on a pedestal, because we don't put men on a pedestal over here. We put ourselves on pedestals. So if you want my advice, cut people off that don't serve your best or your highest good. Cut them off. So that's all that I have regarding this video. I would love your thoughts and opinions, so make sure you comment them down below. Give this video a big thumbs up, and if you're new here, subscribe. Join the team over here, because we keep it real. This is Real Talk with Yoni, and I will see you guys in my next video.